Dragon Age Veilguard reviews are BS. Let's see. Let's see what's the reason for it.
This was
Let's
going to
go.
happen. But we're entering a new era of potentially access journalism. This is always a
Absolutely.
bad thing, by the way, but we're starting to see it happen again. So we're gonna don't even know if it's good or bad.
It's basically this media outlets are getting bribed. It's basically bribing with a kind of extra steps, you could say. You know, so they just give the game first to the company, and then the company says good things about the game instead of pointing out its actual flaws. It happens in almost any department: gaming, social media, products, mobile phones, computers, all of them. Actual journalism is bad, and people should be more aware of that. When you say nice thing, when you hear nice things about a product or a game or anything on the social media, you should take it always with a grain of salt and suspicion.
Let's be skeptical on both sides. We don't need to be skeptical. All I need to do, gentlemen, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to play Dragon Age myself. When it comes out, the day it comes out, I'm going to play it. Day one. Hashtag sponsor? Nope. Maybe, hey, you know what? Maybe Twitch will ban me then for self-harm. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the video. The truth about Dragon Age Veilguard reviews.
In this Dragon Age The Veilguard review, we're going to be talking about why we're actually not doing a review for The Veilguard today, why this should matter to you, and why it's important. We don't normally make videos like this on the Fex for Life YouTube channel. We typically stay out of drama. You'd be hard-pressed to find more than a handful of these across the entire 3,000 some odd
Oh, they are addressing the drama.
But what I want to talk about today is going to impact the way that you watch reviews today, the ones that are coming out today. And this information
let's see.
should
Impact
not be
me.
kept from you.
Let's go.
Before I get into that, though, just a little bit of background about Fextra Life's history with Dragon Age. Dragon Age Origins is one of my all-time favorite games. I get asked all the time, what are my top 5 games? And Dragon Age Origins is consistently in that list. That has never changed in the entire time since.
I never played a Dragon Age in my life. I think the turn-based combat, the jank combat they have, the system and the mechanics are complete garbage. Either go full turn-based or go full action combat. I don't want to play a janky combat that's in between. That's my opinion, but I guess the game is just not for me. If you enjoy that, good for you, and by all means, support those kind of games. But this game is more action combat game, so we will see how it goes.
Game. We also made a Dragon Age Inquisition wiki in 2014 when that game launched. So we've been covering Dragon Age.
You fuckers have a wiki of every game that's ever been made.
Yep.
But yeah.
True. And it's the funniest part about it is they have pretty much a wiki for every game that they ever made. The funniest part is it's almost good. It's good in certain games.
10 years, maybe longer. And Fex also managed to rescue the Dragon Age forums when BioWare was bought by EA because they were shutting down those forums. We got permission from BioWare to rescue those forums, export them, and import them onto the Fex for Life forums. So you can still find those Dragon Age forums today on our site. We've been in constant communication with EA and BioWare for years about this title. We've been assured we're getting a code multiple times over the years. We've been in constant communication with them. They keep sending us stuff about the game. We've also been covering the game during that time with constant news articles. We've done several videos about the game. But most importantly, I think that our audience is the audience for this title. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find another channel out there that's our size that is so specifically targeted to RPGs that fits the profile for this game. So following all this, we were invited by EA to attend a preview event for Dragon Age The Veilguard in September with a lot of other press and content creators. We were by no means the only ones doing this. And after attending that event, we made our impressions video from playing the game, which has close to 300,000 views on our YouTube channel right now, which I think is one of the most viewed impressions videos for that game at this time.
That's a lot.
If you watch that video, the general sentiment is that we're cautiously optimistic about the game. We praised its gameplay, character depth, but we weren't completely sold about the storytelling in the long run, although we only got to play a very little bit of time, so we weren't entirely sure. And
guys, I don't know how the fuck you see that gameplay and you think it's not dog yet.
I mean, to be fair, the modern standards have gotten super high. Like, think about this. You can play Genshin Impact, Weathering Waves, Punishing Grey Raven, and what else is there? Honkai Star Rail on your phone for free. And then this game comes out on computer only and maybe in consoles, and this game plays like this. You can see why people are mad about it. It's completely understandable.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
True.
In general, we didn't really like the character models, the design style of them, which I think a lot of people
Yeah.
don't. In general, it was a pretty positive impression of the video, and I want to play for you the closing audio from that
Yeah, I
video.
think that's also true. Most of the characters, no matter how hard you try, they will look like smashed up tin can, like the Coca-Cola can, pretty much. You know, the soft drink cans. That's how most characters look for some reason. I don't know why they went that route, but it's not that big of a deal.
Now, so you can see what we told
But
our
yeah, it is a nitpick. Yes, you can be pretty assy if you want to in this game.
audience
Not
at the
so
end of
much.
that video. I still have issues with the game, mainly that I don't like the UI and that the dialogues didn't seem to be on par with what you could get in other story-focused games that have come out in the
True.
last decade, and that I didn't yet get a point where I felt a bond or much interest with my companions who were integral to the story. It's
They're
funny that I have pretty
boring,
much been playing
uninteresting, and at best annoying.
these games for the story and getting through the combat, but I may actually be playing the Veilguard to enjoy the combat and get through the story to see the end. How everything
That's
Oh
like
my
watching
God.
porn for the plot. You gonna play this for the combat? What the hell? Watching porn
What?
for the plot.
how everything
That's like watching porn for the plot. You gonna play this for the combat? What the hell?
Oh my God.
works together and progresses into a
In this game, the combat, what do I think about it? It's clunky, it needs polish. Like, I think the easiest way to fix your combat, your shittier combat, is just to give us a hard lock on. Soft lock on sucks dick in this game.
full game remains to be seen, and there were several big and
Straight up.
impactful events
Complete garbage. Like, it does lock-on system in this game, garbage. It plays like God of War. God of War's lock-on system is way more redeemable, you would say.
that I cannot discuss.
And I said that game's lock-on system was trash, and this game is even worse.
So far, my opinion on this has become more positive, and I would like to urge anyone who loves CRPGs to hang in there and wait for reviews and not write the game off just yet.
30
And just to
bucks.
illustrate
This game
how
is 30
mild
bucks.
that our criticisms were of the Veilguard after publishing our impression
I don't care how good your graphics is in your game. If the story sucks ass and then combat is dog shit, I think that game is not worth the full price. You know, that's the most amount of thing you wanna do in the game. You know, that's basically the point of the game, right? The gameplay and the story. This game falls flat on both of them.
impressions video, we got called shills. Some people accused us of being paid by BioWare and EA to promote the game, which of course we're obviously not.
Ah,
I was even contacted by another content creator who had attended the event that asked me why my criticisms were worded more cautiously and asked me if I was concerned when I made my video that
Well, here's the reason why it fucking happened. I'm gonna just say it because nobody remembers anything except for apparently me because I'm terminally fucking online. So the reason why the Dragon Age Veilguard thing was problematic is because they flew a bunch of people out there and they took these fuckers to Disneyland. And I'm sorry, but if somebody takes me to Disneyland, I'm gonna think to myself, well, actually, I fucking hate Disneyland. I never want to go there. However, let's say I like Disneyland.
Yeah.
Let's say they take me to Chuck E. Cheese. I like Chuck E. Cheese, okay? And so they take me to Chuck E. Cheese. You know what I'm gonna think? I'm gonna think they're a nice guy. I'm gonna think, you know what? You know, maybe
Yeah.
I give them the benefit of the doubt. You know, maybe they're not so
Yeah.
bad. And that kind of stuff is how you change perspectives.
yes.
And so I
true.
think it is absolutely
Basically, they
fair
bribed your ass.
to take a person who has a
That explains IGN's 9 out of 10 score. You know, Disneyland. Not to mention, Disneyland is more notorious for their wokeness in the recent debacles they've been doing. You know, yeah, damn. I guess they got packed together. I guess the
enjoyed
saying goes.
privileges
You know,
that are given to the company that function as consideration and to hold those reviews in contempt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Star Wars? Oh, was it? Fuck! Was it Star Wars? Shit, no, you're absolutely right. I'm totally wrong. You are completely right. That was
Oh.
Star Wars and not Veilguard. You're
Good
right.
also.
No,
But-
you're totally fucking right.
But I think they probably did something similar to that.
Right.
Probably.
Was that was Star Wars Outlaws? Yep.
Man,
To
but
be
still
fair,
that
it was
game
still a
garbage.
big event though, right? Yes, but no, I was wrong. I was wrong. Again, this is we are into the new age of accountability. If I say something that's wrong, immediately I want to be called out for it. My bad.
Yep.
I should have. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for keeping me accurate. That was with a different game. Still the same problem though. Still the same problem.
Yep.
You get flown out to an event. They obviously do different types of accommodations. Oftentimes, they're paying for it, not you. You're getting effectively a free vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't go to Disney World, but they're still giving you something. And guess what? People are going to give better reviews. I think it's very important to look into that. It's an industry problem. Yes, it's an industry problem. That's right. Veilguard was flying people out too. Yes, of course.
It always has been like that. You know, there has always been the news outlets that have been paid and then bought up by politicians, game industries, movie industries to talk about nice stuff, right? But I think nowadays it's more common. I think that's the problem. Everything, every news outlet is just paid and then no access journalist bullshit.
Free room service, you got my vote? Yeah,
Pretty
if
much.
I can order chicken wings at 3 in the morning, then I'm going to say your video game is a 9 out of 10.
Yes,
Be denied access.
yes,
to a
that
review
is
code.
true.
To which, of course, I replied,
Probably
no,
I would
I'm not
say that
worried
too.
I'm
about
sorry, bro. Like, this don't look like a griffin. This looks like some fucking... I swear to God, I've seen things like out of Teletubbies that are more fucking dangerous than that. This is... What the hell is this? This is for kids. You want to see a real griffin?
This looks like a bird from How to Train Your Dragon from Disney movie. You guys ever seen Toothless? Let me show you. Look at this guy. Do you guys see this guy? He looks like this. Look at this. Oh god. Red bozo. Look at this guy. Can I make this image come to this side? That would be nice. So you get the idea. He looks like Toothless, pretty much.
Griffin? This is a real... This is a real one. These look like the real ones. See this?
Yeah.
That's a dangerous fucking animal. You see him? Look at him. Oh, wow. Then you got this...
Even Harry Potter Griffin is way fucking hardcore. Let me see. Harry Potter Griffin. PRI. Like, look at this Harry Potter Griffin. Even this one is made more majestic than the other thing. I guess it's not in the movie. I saw it in the movie. I remember that. Guess not.
What the hell is this?
This looks like a cartoon. This is a Looney Tune right there.
Nickelodeon.
Looney
It's supposed to
Tune.
be a baby griffin? No, because babies don't have the feathers. That's not how birds work. I've seen how I've like no, because like then they don't have the feathers on them. You tried that, didn't you?
I replied, no, I'm not worried about getting denied access to review code. That simply doesn't happen in the gaming industry. But I was not concerned about this at all. I reassured him that he shouldn't be concerned about this because it's just not really a thing in the gaming industry. It's so rare that it shouldn't scare someone into not saying what they think about a game. So after publishing our video, nearly immediately our contacts at EA and Bioware stopped replying and communication went to zero.
Jesus.
So we started inquiring as to what was happening and reaching out to other contacts in the industry in a bit wider of a circle to try and figure out what's happening. As a result, we discovered that we were essentially getting fake reassurances that we were getting a code to keep us happy while denying us access to the Veilguard. It wasn't too long after this that I began to be contacted by other press and content creators about whether or not we had a code, and generally speaking, I get this a lot. People tend to ask me whether I have a code or not, because we generally get codes for all the big games. I'm not trying.
I mean, it's kind of common to do that in the public market. Like if you're gonna release a new product, you probably want good things, good reviewers say about your product instead of the other way around. It's common, like it makes sense, but it's still a piece of shit way to do things. But it is what it is, I guess. Yeah. I think you cannot really can do much to stop this, but the only thing you can do probably is to bring more awareness to people so they don't get buy into this bullshit. You know, find someone that you actually trust and then say things as it is without any bias. Kind of like me or someone else who knows. You know, I basically say everything I feel about the game. I don't care. I think Elden Ring was shit. You know? Like it depends. It really depends. You have to find them. You know? Just to try to find them and then follow them or you make your own research. Like this is your experience. You have to figure it out yourself. Or maybe ask for these game developers for a demo. That's actually a good thing. The best demo I ever played was Final Fantasy 16 till date. God damn, that demo was amazing. So you can just have a demo like that, and then the demo can't even make your impression. Do not buy that game. But I would guarantee you, I would be surprised if you played a Final Fantasy 16 demo and then didn't want to play Final Fantasy 16. I would be surprised. That game's demo itself is that good.
To brag, it's just simply reality. We have a large channel. We almost always get a code.
And goddamn, the game holds up the demo very well.
Creator or press can figure out if they should have a code right now, if they're going to get one or not, by asking us this question, which is what
give me some,
here.
meow.
And we started piecing together between us that some people had codes and others didn't, including ourselves. And you might have also seen Wolfheart's tweets about this topic on Twitter or X, and Luke Stevens' video about this topic as well. Both of those individuals were with us in California for the preview event, and both of them put out preview videos as well as ours. And I think between the three of us, we probably have some of the 3 most viewed videos.
This is the one which you got free in Epic? No, this is a new one. This is the new one. Like it came out like 2 weeks ago.
If you read those tweets and you watch that video, you can tell clearly that they also feel some way that they were intentionally excluded by EA from review access for some unknown reason, likely because of critical comments they made in their preview video, even though most...
Yeah. It is very hard to say whether they were excluded because of critical reviews or not. However, when 3 people that go to the preview event give unfavorable or questionable criticism, and one of the common variables is that they were giving questionable criticism,
and then not receiving the game copy, it kind of makes sense. They got blacklisted. Yeah.
Bro.
So obvious. He's gonna make a dot.
Asmongold probably bury the game the moment he gets on.
The moment he gets unbanned, he's gonna bury this game.
Wow, what about that? How about that?
God damn.
So
and he is doing that.
I'll go back to what I was saying. So pretty much, you look at something like this. Is it a guarantee that they were excluded from review copies because of the way that they covered the game? Is it a guarantee? No, it is not a guarantee.
Yes, I think it is a guarantee.
I think that all things, like, this is my perspective.
Like, probably these guys said something to criticize the game and then said, probably they give good advice to further developers. But their hubris and ego didn't allow them to change the game. Or, there is another problem. The game is done to the point you cannot change it that much. You know? So instead of giving them the free copies and then making your game look bad, it's a better idea to just keep the copies yourself and not even give them access. You know? Yeah, that makes sense. But still, if this is a, I don't know, this is kind of makes it makes things worse. Now they're gonna say they didn't get the copy, and then they will criticize the game even more. You know, it's a kind of a double-edged sword. You lose either way.
I put a tweet out. I've
Yeah.
been tweeting more often because I've been fucking banned. I didn't have anything else to do. So I'll show you guys what I typed out and what I said.
Mm.
That way you can get an idea. Let me see where the fuck is it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I replied to this, and this is Wolfheart's post about it. And I said this, as someone who's been extremely critical of F Extra Life in the past, I completely support them in this circumstance. Celebrating and pushing for certain people to not get review copies is the first step towards access journalism and the chilling effect it has on genuine reviews. And I want to elaborate a little bit on that. If people are not being given reviews based off of criteria that is not related to their ability to provide a review to an audience of people that's seeking a review, then you are looking at a very, very unfair situation. And access journalism, this is a term, a lot of people might not really be familiar with this term. Access journalism is when it's referring to when people are given privileges or people are given.
You tell me about good things, and then I will give you free shit. That's pretty much access journalism in a nutshell.
Opportunities that exist as an outcome of them providing favorable or agreeable coverage of things in a way that the company could predict. So, like,
suck their dick, get free shit.
We're going to only invite the people that are going to give positive feedback. So what does that do? What that does is it creates a chilling effect. And that's the second part of what I was saying, to where people are less likely to provide negative criticism and negative reviews of games because now they don't want to be excluded from exclusive content that could benefit them financially.
Yeah, and then there is another double, triple chilling effect. Once the people figured out that their reviews are not genuine and they've been sponsored, and then they are being biased, they will lose their audience trust and then lose their viewer count, and then the channel will just die.
And so what the company has just done,
the only people that's losing in this scenario is just the consumers and the content creators that's making the reviews about the game. The genuine content creators just taking the axe, and then the consumers that's trusting the fake reviews, and then the paid reviews that are favorable on the game gets fucked over because they are paying the full box price for a game that's not even worth more than $30. Straight up.
Is they have created a reward structure and a reward loop that is built around deceiving the customer.
Yep.
And this is something that is incredibly toxic. And it doesn't matter whether it's happening to F Extra Life, Kotaku, Luke Stevens, or SkillUp. It is incredibly toxic. And I think that if you have a channel that meets a certain size requirement and you request a review and you don't have a history of breaking embargo and breaking NDA, I think that you should be given a review, period. Because anything other than that is too much of a subject to abuse, and it's harmful for the base customer. I think F Extra.
I don't know. It's kind of a gray area because the company can decide who can they give the reviews, right? Like if they are professional, yes, they can give. They should give them the freaking review copies regardless. But it's still their choice. They can decide who they can give copies. It's ultimately their choice, right? That's why you can't do anything about this. You know, because they are providing something from their side, right? So they can have the choice ultimately. So it's kind of a gray area. But I think if you're a professional and asking, and here's the thing: if they're giving the copy codes to some certain people and then not other people in the same professional what do you call it, department, then yes, they should give the copy to everyone.
Wife should get a review,
right?
I think every quote grifter should get a review. Everybody should get a review. I think that companies should pay me not to play their games. I think like if you know you're coming out with a dud,
Yeah.
you know it's a turd. Just send me like 10 grand, and I won't play it. I won't play it.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking like we're like a reverse sponsorship.
Yeah, give it to me too. So I don't play the full game and then completely say this game is a scam.
I think it's a good idea.
You know?
It's a no.
I think I did that with one game. Yeah, Enotria. I played that game completely and then said that game was a scam.
It's not. No, it's not extortion, guys. It's no, it's not extortion.
No, it's not.
No. You cheap? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm a reasonable guy, very reasonable guy, and Tush money, yeah, you know. Well, I would tell people. I would tell people, be like, yeah, listen, this is like, you know, they paid me not to play this one because they know it's gonna suck, and so yeah, it's really smart. Yeah, it is. And so anyway, I think everybody should get a review code. Everybody should get one. It doesn't matter whether you're an idiot. It doesn't matter. Like the most woke, biggest social justice warrior on Kotaku, I want to fight for their right to get a review code. I want to make sure that they get a review code because that is what's fair.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what's best for every consumer and every customer.
I think even though as a consumer for you, the different type of reviewers doing the review of the same game gives you a better perspective from different different angles, like different perspective. You see from someone that likes the game, someone that doesn't like the game. Sometimes they will tell something that people didn't even notice that they who are liking the game, right? So it's better for you to have different perspective of the same thing. I think it's a good idea. Not every game should be just praised and called it's a masterpiece. It should have its more criticism and different people's perspective of that game in order to have a better idea of what it is and what that game is for.
You have an unfair system. The only thing that you have to do in order for that unfair system to be used against you is to wait.
Yep, pretty much.
So the things they said were positive about the game, just like us. And these are just two individuals that are speaking out about this, but we do know that there are at least a handful of other content creators and press that were left out, maybe more, that share a similar sentiment, that feel like they were deliberately prevented from giving their own opinions to their own audience about this game. It is feeling like EA is deliberately trying to prevent us from telling you what we think about the game, and they want you to hear it from someone else. So you then have to ask yourself, why would EA do this? What is their angle?
What do you, this is always my favorite part of videos like this. Why would they do this? Everybody knows why they would do this.
Yeah. They know their game sucks.
Everybody knows.
They know their game is gonna suck and then they're gonna get laughed at. That's why. Easy.
Either no one or everyone.
The dialogue in this game, goddamn, go play it. Like, if there is a demo or look at a game, walkthrough in the game, YouTube, the dialogue in this game is just god awful. Jesus.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I never seen it. Like, I never see, even children doesn't speak like this.
What are they trying to accomplish by doing this?
It's just awful.
After the previews came out, I think it became very apparent that most of the people who were still interested in Veilguard after watching the previews...
And I also so there's an element of nuance of this that's getting a little bit of people confused. People are using the example, like, because SkillUp posted a review of this game, and the review was critical. The difference is that SkillUp's initial reception of the preview event was positive. So he was given the review copy on the pretense that he was positive about the game.
Oh, he knows how to play the game. He basically said good things about the game until he get the review copy, and then completely went full nuclear. I don't think that's gonna work next time. I think he's gonna get blacklisted.
That's like there's like that complex.
Yeah, he got 1W. I think in the grand scheme of things,
in
he's
that
cool.
nuance, because it's not that
He
nobody
is
that
cool.
gave it a bad review, but
Yeah,
that's the complexity there. He did a bait and switch.
pretty
No,
much.
he didn't do a bait and switch at all. He just he just simply like got a larger perspective of the game. I think that's reasonable, right?
Yeah, could be.
Waiting for reviews to make their final decision about whether or not to purchase the game. If you just read comments in any YouTube video about the Veilguard or look at the poll on our community page, you can see that the vast majority of people that are still interested are waiting for reviews.
Yeah.
Looking at this, EA's marketing team...
Well, reviews serve as a tool for people to inform themselves about the quality of the game.
I mean, you are actually making an investment, right? In a video game, because it's a $60 game, you know? So you need some kind of assurance that you don't get fucked over and then got scammed. That's why people watch reviews and all.
Like,
The first place.
reviews exist for the sole purpose of
God damn, Nvidia sponsored you?
serving the
Jeez,
customer
how big
as
are
a
you?
tool for making an informed purchase. That is the reason why reviews exist.
Mm-hmm.
probably saw this and decided that they needed to make the reviews as positive as possible, trying to exclude those that might, give the game a 7 or an 8, while also reaching out and finding press and content creators that would maybe give the game a 9 or above. Just think about this for a second. If you're on the EA end and you're trying to manipulate review scores because you want high
How
review
in the
scores,
hell this game
what are you
is
gonna
a
do?
9,
You're going to
dude?
research press and content creators and what they usually give
Oh
to
my
games
god,
score-wise
100?
to give you a general idea of how they're going to
Yeah,
review
what,
the game.
100 out of 1,000, I guess. It's not 100 out of 100, that's for sure. 100 out of maybe 500
If
or
I
at
was
least
trying
1,000.
to scam people, I would do this.
Yes,
These are reviews for Diablo
absolutely.
4.
Yep.
We all know how that turned out.
Yep.
For us, we never give games 10s. 9s are extremely rare. Most games we give reviews to fall somewhere in the 7.
Dude, never give a game a 10 because 10 means it's perfect in every way possible. Nothing in this world is like that. How a game can be a 10 out of 10?
Under 8 range, while other places, you know who they are, always give 9s and 10s, and frankly,
God itself in the universe is not perfect,
it's
dude.
hard to take them
Jesus
seriously.
Christ.
And this is why I made this video.
When it
I mean, maybe it's just my English teacher biased, but who knows?
comes to central storylines, this is easily the best Bethesda quest yet. This is about Starfield. Starfield in the nutshell is
what
everything that we get to be
storyline?
much more. The bars in
What?
hell, bro. The bars on the floor, and these people picked up a shovel.
Is why I made this video. Because you guys told us in no uncertain terms that you're waiting for reviews, and you're about to
Yeah,
get
of
a
course.
bunch of reviews that have been curated by the publisher for their likelihood of being extremely positive in an attempt to manipulate
I actually never seen any of the Extra Life reviews. Maybe I will start to see them. This looks interesting. Like it seems like they are actually genuine. They never gave a game a 10 out of 10. That itself is actually admirable. My actual motive is never give a game a 10 out of 10. Because it's impossible to do that.
review.
Like you cannot have a game that's perfect in any way possible, every way possible. Like how is that even a thing? Like give me one example, a game that's perfect in any way. Show it to me, I will find one flaw in that game at least, minimum.
Of Dragon Age, the Veilguard. They want you to think there is a universal consensus that
That's what's really funny about this is happening. Did you guys see like the news about how the FTC has created new regulations for fake reviews? It's really fucking funny that this happened at the same time.
Ooh. Seems like people are getting aware
the
of
game
it.
is
Nice.
amazing, thereby
Good job.
convincing you that you should try it, but also influencing future review scores as it's difficult.
I mean, imagine if that happens in real life. Like, imagine a journalist just using false information or good things about a about a politician or a freaking something else that happened in real life. If you put this in real life, it's gonna be chaos. Don't you guys think? Think? What do you guys think? It's gonna be complete chaos, dude.
difficult to be the outlier. If you've
It's a journalism. It's journalists has to be truthful. You know.
ever done a review for a game or for something, you'll realize that if you're
I mean, almost most of the things, like in 100% of the things, if you see my words, I will mark out real time when I'm playing the game. You know, it genuinely makes me pissed off when I play something and then it's just annoys me. I think almost all the games I complained about, I have real
the only
proof
one
of
giving
it.
a high review score when everyone else is giving it a low review score, it's difficult. Or if you're the only one giving it a low review score and everyone else is giving it a high low review score, it's difficult. Or if you're the only
Oh, damn, they got balls. They said this game is mid. Yeah, completely agree. I wonder what the score they gave. Oh, that's Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2 is mid. Yeah, I think it's mid. I think it's bad. I thought that
only one
they
giving it
gave
a low review
Dragon Age
score and
this
everyone
review.
else is giving it a high review score,
Last of Us 2 is 93. Get the fuck out of here. This must be a
it's a
Sony
very
20 is
difficult
doing
position
this.
to be in. So if you see a bunch of positive review scores come out today, think about all the people that are going to be playing afterward and how much pressure they're going to feel.
I think I agree with this asmongold in this regard. I agree. Even though I'm critical about certain aspects of him being complete, harsh about it, I think the combat is janky.
To give the game a
Completely
slightly
agree.
better score than they would have given it, just to avoid maybe
Is it janky to the point unplayable? No. But is it janky to the point it's annoying? Yes. The lock-on system just makes the game's combat is completely chore to
some
do.
undue pressure, and sometimes that doesn't even happen consciously, it's just done subconsciously. And
It's kind of maybe he's just pretending, or maybe he's just really skilled at noticing it. He just saw the video on the first review or something like that, and then said the combat is not good. But at that time, I said I have to see it to see it myself, and he
Yeah,
was
I
right.
mean, it's just like normalcy bias. I mean, there's a bunch of like, I mean, this is like a study. I mean, this happens all the time. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen such dishonesty when it comes to game reviews, honestly. I mean, Cyberpunk was bad, but nowhere near this because the game was actually good and it wasn't buggy on PC. So with
What the fuck?
Cyberpunk, correct me if I'm wrong because I was wrong about the Star Wars thing, but wasn't the review copy of Cyberpunk actually different than the copy that was actually released? So the reviewers were in fact not lying. It's just that they had received a separate copy.
Yep.
So Cyberpunk actually is not a good example of that. Very, very weird thing that happened there because of like a third party that did their QA and it was a bunch of shit, right?
I think, and besides, Cyberpunk copy didn't even come to PS4. They just straight up give you only PC copies for people. And then even then, the promises they made is Cyberpunk do not defend Cyberpunk. It took them 1 year to make that game remotely playable, dude. Yes, it ran fine, but most of the promises they made, they literally said it was gonna be like GTA 5, but in future. It is nothing like GTA 5 whatsoever. Even till this date, it is not like that at all.
This, I think, is very much, do I think that it's intentional or not?
Yes, it is intentional. Completely. They know what they are doing.
I think that it's such a big accusation. I
Yes.
really want to step away from making accusations on things without full information.
Absolutely, they hit on the fact that their Cyberpunk game is completely botched on PS4, and then they hid the fact and they didn't even give review copies to the people so they can test out the game in PS4. Completely true. 100% true. Everybody said the same thing. You didn't even get a copy for PS4, and then PlayStation completely removed the game from what do you call it? From their store, and then gave refund. That game was bad. That is the first game. Here's the funny thing about Cyberpunk. That is the first ever game in this decade that took a massive L, came out literally unplayable on PS4, and then they had to give refunds. At least from what I've seen. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But I think that is the first game that took a massive L from a AAA company that was that bad. Never let them live that up. That was downright that Cyberpunk was a scam for PS4.
I think that again, it's a bad idea to do that, and I'm gonna try and stop doing that as much.
Anybody who tries to defend Cyberpunk is just having a personal bias towards that game. Yes, that game is good, fine, but do not defend their bullshit they pulled when the game was released.
However,
never do that. Because if you start doing that, you will get a game that's worse than that. Remember that.
it's
If you defend a game that's that bad and then defend it and let that game slide, you will get a game that's even worse. That is why you got Starfield. Because you shitbags defended Cyberpunk, that's why you got Starfield. And you fucking deserve it. That's why you got the Starfield. That's why you got Dragon's Dogma 2. That's why you got this law. Because you defended that one game. Because of you're biased. The other companies saw and then they thought to themselves that they can get away with a shit game like that.
very suspicious and it's worrisome. I hope it's not happening.
I mean, yes, they fixed the game over the period of time, but they sure as hell bought the full money when they sold the game for the first time, right? They didn't got their money for that game with a paid installment or anything, but it took them freaking 10 installment to fix the fucking game so it can run on your PC. Are you stupid? They sure as hell got full price, right? For your game? And then they give you a half-baked piece of shit. Remember that. Jesus Christ. Anime, the only good part that came out of Cyberpunk is just the anime and maybe Johnny Silverhand. That's pretty much it. Now, the rest of them is just mediocre at best. Like, that game is overhyped to oblivion. Like, I seen freaking Doom plays way better than that game.
I want to be very clear here that I don't think that the press and creators publishing their videos early are going to be lying. However, these reviewers have been
I think they are gonna be. You should change your mindset and then think all of the reviewers that give you the review before the game comes out are lying, and you should not trust them. That's a good mentality to have instead of trusting them completely. Straight up, do not. And then, for the love of God, for love of freaking your wallet, do not pre-order any game, no matter how reputable the company is. The prime example is Cyberpunk. CD Projekt Red was a very reputable company, but do you remember how freaking Cyberpunk turned out? If a best company in the freaking what do you call it, in the lot came up with a dud like that, what do you think these guys gonna have? Just think about that. Be smart with your money. Do not wait for a sale. Wait for the actual gameplay. Like, do not even see the reviews. Wait for that full gameplay, like the what do you call it, continuous gameplay, the walkthrough, and then even though you get spoiled, at least you won't get scammed. You know, because you're losing your real money, right? And then look that up, and then you make your decisions yourself.
screened to maximize the chances that you're
That's true. And this component is really important, and I want to elaborate on that. There are people that just like these kinds of games, just with
Yes.
any game, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they like that corpus slop like Assassin's Creed, freaking FIFA, the what do you call it? God of War, Last of Us 2. What else is there? Red Dead Redemption. I mean, Red Dead Redemption story is good. Gameplay is fucking slop. Uh, what else is there? Freaking Horizon Forbidden, and then every other Tomb Raider. Those games play basically the same, but people still buy it. There is a market for these games. I mean, even in that standard, I think this game is worse, dude. I think this game is worse than God of War.
But like, if you're
How much score I give God of War? I think I should probably give this
only
game lower
taking the
than that.
people that like the games that you're giving review scores to, you are creating a
Yeah.
confirmation bias. It's basically, it's a selection bias, survivorship bias. Like, I mean, all of these are accurate in different ways.
Yeah, I think I should definitely give this game a
Seeing
low score
positive
than
reviews.
freaking whatever.
There were
God of
probably
War.
some exceptions, of course. I don't think everyone's going to give the game a positive review. But EA is banking that those are few and far between.
Well, there's a higher probability. The people that gave it positive coverage during the preview event would have a probably higher probability of giving it positive preview coverage in the full review. This is a logical conclusion that any normal person would come to.
Yeah, pretty much.
Attempt to keep the aggregate score of the game high. This has only happened one other time that I'm aware of in the some 10 odd years I've been doing this, and that is with Cyberpunk 2077, which followed a similar pattern where we were constantly reassured we were getting a code for years but never got one.
Yeah.
And suddenly reviews were out and everyone was praising the game, giving it 9s and 10s, except one journalist who dared to give it an 8 and was ripped to shreds for it. But then the fans got their hands on the game, and well, you know the rest. It wasn't what was promised, and we were forced to make one of the most disappointed videos I've ever made in my gaming career. However, in the case of CD Projekt Red, they own their shit, and the game is in a much better place now, though they lost trust by what happened with that game.
Do you remember whenever I played that game? That was crazy, huh? That was like 6 months ago. Maybe one day I'll play it again, right?
And in CD Projekt Red's case, they had already garnered quite a positive reputation, so they survived the backlash.
Fuck you.
However, neither BioWare or EA have shining reputations in the gaming industry, and many people think this is BioWare's last chance to prove.
As a Blizzard fan, every time I hear that, it's just really funny.
They still have it. This is the worst possible start to demonstrating whether or not that is true. So what does this mean for Fextra Life? Honestly, nothing has changed. I'm going to buy the game, I'm going to make our review, and I'm going to like the game or not.
Yeah, just buy this, just forego $60, shit on the game if the game is bad, and then have a good reputation. That's the best thing you could have done. Fuck the early access, fuck everything. Just put on a review and then have a good trust among your viewers.
I'm not going to let EA's bullshit influence our review or its score. We decided to make this video after some deliberation for you, the viewer, because we couldn't.
And to be fair, it is not confirmed that they were denied a review code because of the way that they reacted to the preview. It is not confirmed, but it can be inferred.
I mean, with this video, it's highly unlikely.
It seems odd that the people that did not.
I think FX Live made this video because they know they are never going to get a copy. That's why they made this.
Give positive criticism and coverage. All didn't get reviews.
I think that's what happened.
Seems very interesting.
Good conscience let this pass without saying something and let you be duped into thinking this title is one way when it in fact may be completely different. There are a lot of moving parts behind the scenes in the gaming industry that you will likely never know about, such as executives for publishers getting bonuses based on review scores, with higher score
Jesus Christ.
being bigger bonuses. Maybe you didn't know that. The tactic that
seems pretty stupid.
EA has taken with Dragon Age the Veilguard may prove to be successful, but should be entirely unnecessary if the game is in fact good. But it's not good for you, the consumer, and because they did this, you should not purchase the game based on initial reviews, but instead wait for players to get their hands on the game and tell you how things actually are. So that
True, but for every single game that's ever been made. Stop buying games based off of a review copy. I understand that a lot of people want to buy it on day one, and I can't tell you what to do with your money. I've pre-ordered mini games, and I've bought mini games on day one. However, stop pre-ordering. Yeah.
However, do not come crying when the game sucks.
Yeah, I get it. That's my job. However, I would absolutely not recommend anybody else to do it. I'm going to play it on day one. I've been very negative about my criticism of this game. I hope that I can give this game a fair shot, but I think that you should watch my criticism of the game.
Oh, I gave
And
it
you
the God
should
of
view
War
it
of
through the
5.
lens of this is a guy that went into
I mean,
it thinking that the
if
game is
that's the case,
bad.
this game is a 4.
So even when you're looking at my criticism, take that
Wait,
with a
I
grain of
gave
salt
Elden
as
Ring a
well,
4.
because everybody is biased.
That there is a true consensus, not one that is manufactured by a large corporation who clearly doesn't
Through
care about
selection
its
bias.
community or community members,
Yep.
but in fact only cares about the bottom line. And believe me when I say that I would much rather be publishing a Dragon Age the Veilguard review today rather than this video. This is not a video that I really wanted to make, but I thought it was very important to get this information out to you. And again, no disrespect to any content creators or press out there that are putting out their reviews today. This video is not
Is
aimed
that
at
the
attacking
main
them in any
character?
way. It's simply aimed at informing you about what is going
Ooh,
on
he
with
actually
Dragon Age
made
the
a good
Veilguard
looking character.
and why you might want to take these things into account when you're watching reviews today and tomorrow.
I think it's really important to keep this in mind. And this video is really, the really important thing about this is to understand and see past a lot of the noise that's been surrounding this video about how, I saw things on Twitter like where, this content creator like sourced Mark Kern, and so then they're wrong. That's not how things work. Like the person saying something does not make it right or wrong. The information is right or wrong. The fact is that every single person who has a channel of a certain size, I think, should be given the right to have a review copy. And the reason why is because that's what's best for you, the customer. Nothing else is good for you, the customer. Because if you don't like the way that, let's say, Vera Dark or Grums or F Extra Life reviews games, then you don't have to watch them. But to deny people the opportunity to have it be vetted by a person who they think represents their interests is pure and simple access journalism. And it's bad. It's bad for everybody involved. It's bad for content creators because they start lying. It's bad for viewers because they're being misled. And it's bad for companies because then they're being fed lies by reviewers because the reviewers don't want to give legitimate feedback on the game, which results in having games become worse. It is bad for everybody.
I don't think so. I think the companies are making it for their own benefit.
So that's the way I see it. As a customer, I just wait and look up honest reviews. If you get scammed by pre-order stuff, you got. You did get got, and I understand that. But at the same time, I think that there should be a degree of accountability for the companies that are providing access journalism. It's impossible to say whether that happened in a certainty with this circumstance. But one thing that I can say is I never thought I would be supporting F Extra Life this much. Like, I've been extremely critical of the way that they did embeds on Twitch. Massively critical. I totally shit on them. But with this circumstance, I think that they have every right to have a review copy, and it is unfair, and it's disturbing to me that they didn't receive a review copy, especially in the context of the way that they reviewed the pre-release stuff. That's the way I see it. Imagine, guys, world in black and white. Yeah, sure, just 0 review copies and everyone, period. Oh, like not give anybody review copies? Yeah, I could see that. You want to do that? That's fine. That's totally fine. Absolutely. The companies want to maximize revenue. I understand that, but I think that us as consumers have to hold companies accountable for when the way that they decide to maximize revenue is through misleading customers and refusing to provide customers an adequate information about the product that they're consuming. That should not be seen as a positive thing.
Yeah, that's actually a shady behavior, and it's a downright a scam. Like if they deny you the information that you wanted, and they're not honest with their product, that means it's a scam, dude. Come on.
Yeah, that's a bad thing. Like you're it's like, oh, they want to maximize revenue, so they're not giving you
I will go even further and call it a straight up downright
the full
scam.
thing that you paid for. They can't give something a 9 out of 10 while admitting it's going to kill the series. Who admitted that Dragon Age is going to kill the series? if we never get another Dragon Age, at least it got to go out on a high note with Dragon Age the Veilguard. That doesn't even make sense. Well, this game was really good. I guess we're gonna stop making them. Well, I guess that's what they did with Bloodborne.
Hyper-Rush.
You know.
Yeah, Bloodborne. And then Hi-Fi Rush, not Hyper-Rush. Hyper-Rush is like the whole freaking industry got fired.